oddly satisfying.
It's like ASMR.
Yeah.
Hold on, I gotta do this. I gotta do this right.
Ooh, yo, that sounds so good.
Here we go.
See, like, okay, listen. So, so Julie is
Yeah.
really into like eating ASMR,
Sure.
which is like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
no, but like, not good. Not.
Oh,
good.
like she's an addict.
No. But like, I'm talking about like, just listen. So imagine the most like lip smacking noises that you could possibly create with your mouth.
Yeah.
And also imagine taking, like, it sounds like they took a microphone and shoved it in the back of their throat to pick up literally everything.
So you already hate that kind of thing.
So I get really annoyed when people do that.
I got you.
Close to me. And then she's like, yeah, this is really relaxing.
She's
I
like,
enjoy
I love
this.
this, yeah.
And I'm like, what is
Well,
wrong with
that's an interesting topic. Because I mean, my mom, she'll sit here and she'll watch like videos of like people brushing hair,
you? Yeah.
like that kind of a relaxing thing.
I can see that.
I don't though. I've never seen the attraction. Like if somebody takes, you know that thing where it's like the Crayola pencils,
Yeah.
and they'll line them all up and then they'll
Oh,
roll
they melt
them.
them.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
And it's like melting videos. I can get 'cause
Yeah.
that's satisfying.
Yeah.
Cutting the sand.
Oh. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
But like eating, I just don't. Why is that a thing?
I don't know. I've always enjoyed like water, like
Mhm.
like light rain. I'm with that, you know.
Yes,
Like I can get down with that.
it's an ambiance type of a thing.
Yeah, I think anything that's like a consistent sound that's not like by itself extremely annoying or
Mhm.
obnoxious, like like at least at a minimum kind of peaceful. Like if you just play that over
Yeah.
time, that's just I don't know. Like I just enjoy that.
Sure, and I think where does that start though? Like how because does your body grow accustomed to it? Of course, it grows accustomed to it over time, but when does it become an essential need for like sleeping habits?
I think being that like as creatures, that like equilibrium and like balance.
Mhm.
I think something. I don't know. I mean, like I'm not like a sound doctor or sound specialist or whatever. But like,
Try your hardest.
yeah. No, hypothetically, I could see like just the consistency of like a peaceful sound,
Mhm.
like over time, just kind of like allows your body to focus on a specific thing.
Sure.
And it kind of like brings all your senses towards one specific like thing.
Mhm.
Kind of centers yourself. So I feel like that's peaceful.
Yeah.
And as far as like sleeping goes, it kind of like reins in if your mind's kind of all over the place and whatnot.
Anxiety and
Yeah.
all that stuff. I feel like it's a calming agent. I feel like when you're in a position, whether you're like you can't sleep or you're not tired enough or whatever,
Yeah.
because if you lay down for long enough, you'll probably fall asleep.
Yeah.
You know, unless you're like just your brain is just going a million miles an hour.
Experience that too.
Yeah, like honestly, I there's an experiment I tried some months ago, but it was like I didn't have a fan
Yeah.
and I couldn't sleep for anything. I tried to, and I literally Googled. I was like, how to fall asleep.
Yeah.
And the first
Oh.
thing it said was just stay still for like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And I tried it, and before I knew it, I was asleep. And I remembered being asleep in the
Really?
dream. I was like, I'm asleep right now.
Dude,
And it was
that's-
weird.
those are
Yeah,
awesome.
when you have dream sequences where you know you're dreaming, it's like you're Deadpool. It's like you know you're in a comic book type
Oh,
of a
yeah.
thing. It's so
It's
weird.
like you're breaking the fourth wall
Mhm.
within a world that you create.
Yeah.
It's like,
And that's where the visceral, or the lucid dreams
Yeah.
start to come in, where it's like, I know that I'm dreaming and I know I can control this.
yeah.
And there are some times when I'll have dreams where I'll realize I'm dreaming, but I'll try to confirm whether or not I can control the dream, and I can't.
Oh.
So I'll literally just like sit and watch whatever happens.
Yeah.
And it's like a movie.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen, you know. I remember being in a position where I was looking through the point of view of someone else,
Yeah.
and the person was looking at me, and while looking at me, I could see my other. It's like another conscience, or like me actually
Yeah.
watching everything. So I could see me as a character, and then the real me,
Yeah.
and I was paying more attention to me as a character.
Yeah.
But I remember I was fighting me, and then yet watching me fight watching me get punched in the face by somebody else that I was.
Yeah.
It was
That's-
really weird.
Man, that's really interesting.
I don't know, but I feel like there's I don't know. I would love to like have a professional
Yeah.
just like explain why that is.
Yeah.
What chemicals are going on in your brain that has that?
Yeah. Dreams. When I was taking AP Psych in high school,
Mhm.
we did like a very short we did like a very short kind of series on like dreaming and sleeping and all that kind of stuff. And it was like, although it was kind of short, it was like probably one of the most interesting things.
Sure.
We kind of talked about, and like one of the things that we had to do was record our sleeping habits. And there are a lot of apps where you can track like your sleep cycles,
Sure.
which is just kind of fun.
Yeah.
Because like, I don't know, when you're like asleep, you really don't know a whole lot of what is going on with your body, and kind of like learning more about that is just kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, dreams are weird.
Yeah.
Like one thing that I've always realized or like known about dreams. This is definitely like Freudian psychology, where like dreams are kind of where things that like are kind of like going beneath the surface. That's kind of where they express themselves, and it's something that you can't really like just stop, because at that point, like when you're just unconscious and sleeping, like the things that will surface are things that like not like you're not in a position to control those things. So it's
Yeah, I feel like because that's okay. So, you know the Christopher Nolan movie Inception.
yeah
That's one of the reasons why I enjoy the subject so much is
Yeah.
because it was a visual representation of something that I couldn't describe on my own.
yeah
They had brought up the idea of how when you dream, you somehow end up in the middle of it.
yeah
There's no real beginning.
yeah.
I was like,
True.
that's true. Holy crap.
Wow, I never, bro. That's actually weird.
Yeah, and it's like you're kind of in the middle of something. There's never a real beginning. And what happens if you have a dream that you're dreaming? And that's where going further in.
Yeah.
That's why the idea, the I guess the more cataclysmic danger of using the dream box or whatever the MacGuffin thing that they had
Yeah.
in there is because you don't really know if you're completely out of the dream yet, which is how the main character's wife dies.
Yeah.
It's because she thinks she's dreaming when she's actually not dreaming.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I felt like it was just to have like all these questions and then have it confirmed throughout the movie. It's like, oh, I understand it. I get it. I don't know. I thought the scene where they're like all asleep in the van and the
Yeah.
van's like falling off the bridge.
Yeah.
And the time change that happens
Yeah.
in accordance to the dream and how he's like flying through the hallway in the hotel.
Yeah.
I thought that was awesome.
That was a cool movie.
Yeah.
One of the things that I've always noticed about like controlling dreams, especially, is like I can't exert. Oh, like there's almost like a limit to the amount of control that I can exert at one time, because I think if I start, like within my dream, it's really weird. Like if I start trying to control things too much,
Sure.
I think my brain is like doing enough for me to actually like make myself awake. So I end up waking myself up if I try to like control my dreams too much. So like within the dream, I'll know this. So like I'll like have to kind of fight my like pick my battles of what I want to try to control.
Yeah.
It is-
Which what if it in that in and of itself wakes you up even?
yeah,
Because
dude,
you're trying to
literally,
control
it's
it
so
even
annoying.
more because you have to control the controlling part.
Yeah, dude, it's just
Yeah.
fun. Dreams, you know, like in college, like
Yeah.
when everything's like hectic as crap, sleeping is one of the most enjoyable parts of your day.
Yeah.
So like if you can have a dream that's fun or cool, it's like a cool opportunity, because there's not really like, within the context of your dream, hypothetically, you're not worried about like tests or quizzes or studying or whatever like that. Like whatever is going on in that dream is what's going on in that dream.
Sure.
And you can kind of create, hypothetically, you could kind of imagine whatever you want.
Sure.
So I always enjoy it. I was just like, every time I'd go to sleep, I'd try to like set my mind on something that was like fun or
Mhm.
enjoyable. I got my like kind of brain in a state that was like excited, so that hopefully that might affect my dream or something like that in like
Mhm.
a positive way.
Yeah,
But, yeah. Ugh.
definitely. And I feel like for people who are like, they're interested in broadening their horizons, like in the imagination area.
Yeah.
I feel like a good, like, take the idea of like writing books, right? If you're having a problem or having trouble coming up with like a base subject for anything,
Yeah.
I feel like dreaming would be something that's interesting because you can literally take a tidbit of a dream and expand on it.
That's true. That's
And
really true.
I mean, you could fill a book of short stories of just the dreams that you have that you
Yeah.
expand on each one. It's called like the Book of Dreams or something. I don't know.
Yeah, dude. What I just thought about is like when you were saying with like you never start at the beginning of a dream. You're always kind of in between it,
Mhm.
but you also understand like the reality of the dream that you're in,
Mhm.
like like the nature of like interactions within that world,
Yeah.
or just like it's not like you'll see something out of the ordinary, hypothetically, of what we consider out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
Within your dream, you'll be like, oh, that's just regular.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's funny how you're just accustomed to whatever the nature of the dream is.
Yeah.
But you like, yeah, it's not like you prepare for that. You're just
Sure.
kind of like, okay, this is how things are. And you know that. You don't have to
Right.
like teach yourself, okay, that like giant monkey that's wearing a tutu and like doing backflips. That's not normal.
Right.
But in the dream, it's like, oh yeah,
That's normal.
what's
Yeah,
next?
right.
You know, what's
I
for
think
breakfast?
I feel like the only time that I've ever felt like had this realization of why isn't this working or why is it like this
Yeah.
is I had a dream when I was younger, and usually when nightmares occur, it's either you wake up and you can start over,
Yeah.
or you wake up and you can't fall asleep again, or the nightmare is reverted into something better.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I had a dream that my parents. It wasn't even it was a dream, but it wasn't like a fleshed out story. It was just I was at a train station, and my parents were saying goodbye to me, and there was nothing to indicate this, but I remember thinking, this is a big deal because I'm never gonna see my parents again.
Oh wow.
So I was crying in the dream, and
Yeah.
I woke up, and I was like, my face was like wet because
Oh,
I was
dude,
just
yeah.
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
But it's like in the context of a dream, you're talking about like a monkey wearing a tutu doing backflips. Like in the context of the dream, this makes sense because it's like, okay, it's just whatever, you
Yeah.
know. But you wake up and you think about it, it's just like
That makes no
that
sense.
makes no sense. Why would I think
Bro,
that?
literally, there's no, it sounds so weird saying this, but there's one time, like, I had a dream. I think I was like best friends with an octopus, and I think he was.
You
gonna-
were best friends with Octopus?
Yeah.
Oh my
and
gosh.
I'm pretty sure, like, we were tight, like, best friends. And like I think he was dying or something like that, and I was crying in the dream, and I wake up like bawling my.
Yeah.
Like I wake up with tears. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, my friend. He's like.
Right, exactly. Like,
Like,
and
wait,
there's
that's so
that's
weird.
so dumb. Like in the context of reality, like let's be honest, if you had a pet of any kind
Yeah.
that you grew an emotional attachment to,
Yeah.
you'd probably be pretty sad if it died.
Oh,
or-
yeah, absolutely.
But this is in the course of like an 8-hour sleep
Yeah.
time, and you already have that close of a relationship with an octopus, and it's like that's where going in halfway
Yeah.
through makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Is because there's a backstory to it that you're not really aware of,
Yeah.
but it's still happening.
Yeah, and you're like, this makes sense.
This makes sense, but it doesn't make
No,
sense.
it definitely doesn't.
And I had a dream 3 nights ago,
Yeah.
where I don't remember what the dream was about, but I remember I was so invested in it that I
Yeah.
woke up and I thought I was still living out the dream.
Yeah.
So when I woke up and I realized that the reality is different,
Yeah.
and I live in Harrisburg, I live in Pennsylvania, I'm 21 years old. Like I was putting the pieces of my
Yeah,
life back
yeah.
together. I was like, that was all a dream. Crap. I feel dumb. Like I felt so bad. I don't know why,
Yeah.
but I did. So I follow a podcast that I listen to, and they upload once a month.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole thing they talk about is like the brain and why
Oh,
it
that's
does
cool.
that.
That's cool.
But one of the guys that one of the co-hosts, he's not all the time, but he's on like every other month or something like that.
Yeah.
But he's a scientist,
Oh.
and he comes in to LA just a couple of times
Yeah.
to visit his friend who does the show. But his name is James, and he's a doctor, Dr. James. But he talked about one episode was about dreaming,
Yeah.
and it was the scientific approach to like the base reality of dreaming and
Yeah.
why we dream. And I was curious as to if he was going to confirm coming in halfway
Yeah.
through a dream, and that was the first thing he said was, yeah, you come into a dream like normally you come into a dream like it was just like a normal part of what he does.
Yeah.
And he talked about attachments. He talked about like why we react so viscerally to some things in a dream, because in the context of a dream, that's our reality, and we have to react to it in certain ways that we normally would. And that's why when you're best friends with an octopus that's gonna die, you know,
like,
and you're bawling your eyes out, it's like that doesn't make any sense in real reality.
But like,
but in the context of a dream,
yeah,
it's like this is my life.
Yeah,
and you essentially take on another life essentially.
Yeah.
When you have a dream.
And like, it's like, if you take the same emotional reaction that you'd have as if like your human friend in reality was going to die, and just apply that to an octopus.
Sure.
And this octopus, like, by the way, he could like speak English. Like, this was like a, what are the? Anyways, he spoke English, and like he was like a pretty much. He had the intelligence of a human, and we interacted like, "Yo, what's up, man?" And he's like, "Yo, hey."
Do you remember why he was gonna die?
No, I think, you know, my best guess was that like people were beating him up or something like that.
Dang.
I don't actually remember.
That's cray.
You know, one of the other things that's interesting is like dying in your dreams, because I've had situations where I'm like I've been shot or like I've been in positions where I'm like, oh, I'm going to die. Cool. Like, what is this like?
Yep.
And it's, I don't know, it's almost interesting to consider like when you hypothetically die in your dream, if you are like, if your dream is to significantly change because of that, like from that point on, it's almost like you're predicting what you, like your brain is creating a reality of what you think is going to happen after death, per se. I don't know. That's just kind of interesting to consider.
Yeah, I feel like when you on that note, going back to the idea of waking up and realizing that reality is not the reality you actually live.
Yeah.
And the disappointment involved with that, depending on if it's a good dream or a bad dream.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you'll have a dream where it's like, this is terrible, and I hate this.
Yeah.
And then you wake up and you feel a sense of relief.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this feels great. Now I don't have to live that anymore. Or maybe like in actual reality, something fun is about to happen. Like, oh, my friend's about to come over and spend the night or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're excited now that you can wake up and live out that reality.
Yeah.
Now knowing that it's the real reality. But you have a situation like when my family used to live in Elizabethtown, I had a dream that I was in a medieval kitchen, and I think it was a demon, like pinned down on a table.
Yo.
And I was calling him a scumbag.
No way, dude, that's so sick.
And I remember his face was like distorted and weird. And I remember he looked, and I knew that he was a demon because his teeth were pointy.
Oh, okay.
That's how I deciphered that. Classic. And I remember his eyes were like too close together, and they were weird.
Oh.
And I was like, ugh. And then I woke up so freaked out because of the situation, and it wasn't like the dream. That specific dream was the equivalent to like jump scares in a horror movie.
Yeah.
Like it hard cut to me on top of a table, punching a demon and calling him a scumbag.
So
and I was so scared by that, like the reaction.
Yeah.
And just realizing what was happening, that I thought the house was like haunted.
Oh.
When I woke up.
Yeah.
I was like, do I have to go through each room and like pray or something? Like, what do I have to do to get rid of this thought? You know. And eventually, it was just like it's just a nightmare, whatever.
Yeah.
But I felt like this responsibility. I thought I was convinced that there was a demon in my house, and I was like, I am terrified. But have you ever had a dream that was visceral enough or scared you enough where it completely shocked you out of a dream, like it completely woke you up?
I mean, yeah, like a lot of times I think I have strategies in dreams in case I'm like engaging in like a nightmare. It's such a weird way to say that.
You have
if I'm
strategies to use it.
engaging in a nightmare, this is what you do. No, so like usually I just close my eyes really tight,
Yeah.
or just like, yeah. But that's what I do in the dream, and then
Yeah.
hopefully like I wait, or like I open my eyes and I'm somewhere else.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I definitely have like dreams where I'm like waking up in a cold sweat,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, whoa. But like one of the things that like along with what you're saying about like your brain is still kind of set towards the reality of your dream. Like I've woken up, I remember just in high school, like I'd wake up from a dream and then like start to get ready for school,
Mm-hmm.
and like I'd be taking a shower, and like for some reason like things that I'd be doing in a shower would be like, oh, I still need to do this, or
Mhm.
like there's things that I still need to accomplish, but I don't actually need to.
Yeah.
Like I could take a 2-minute shower, but I'm taking like a 15-minute shower because I'm like, oh, I need to do this and this within my shower, and I'm like, bro, we're like awake now.
Yeah.
That's not the reality of like what's going on.
Sure.
And it's like, it's just very funny that like you just wake up and your brain, or like, I don't even know, but like you're so invested in your dream that you wake up and you're just like, I'm like, although I'm still like actually in reality, like my brain is like still kind of under the mindset of like what that dream was like, or like what the kind of what was the nature of that reality.
Yeah.
But yeah, dreams are weird.
Yeah, that I don't know. Dreams are so weird. I feel like I don't know. I don't even know what to think. It's like one of those subjects where it's like, I remember when I was a kid and I read an article, which I don't do, but
Yeah.
I remember it stuck in my head because I don't read articles like ever. But I remember reading the article, and it was about this guy or a girl, somebody, but they had like documented proof, and they documented proof for like a specific number of days.
Yeah.
It was like 24 days or whatever. But for every one of those nights, they spent 30 minutes thinking about one subject. And they documented having a dream related to that subject.
Yeah,
And it was a different subject each night.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I remember thinking, I'm going to try this.
Yeah.
So I sat down and started thinking about something random.
Yeah.
I remember going, I'm going to dream about this. It's going to be dope.
Yeah.
I'm going to dream about it. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
And I didn't dream about it. I sat there for like 30 minutes and I thought
Really?
about this thing. I did not have a dream related to it at all. I remember the dream was about I was in a boat.
Yeah.
And my aunt, my dad's brother,
Mhm.
his wife, was pregnant for a fourth time or third time because they have 2 kids.
Congratulations.
Yeah, right. And I remember she was at the front of the boat where it came to a point. It was like a canoe.
Yeah.
And she was standing up, and my first thought is sit down. You shouldn't be standing up in a canoe.
What are you doing?
And she had a palm tree branch, and she was like fanning the front of the boat.
What?
And I was like trying to see around her, like, what are you doing, you know?
That's a great idea.
That's a great idea, right? And I remember I couldn't see her stomach, and so I said, "What are you doing?" And she turned, and she was pregnant. And my first thought is, that makes sense. She's fanning her stomach, so the baby doesn't get hot.
Yeah.
I'm like, I remember waking up and going, "What? Wait, what?" Okay. And I think the next like week I was gonna see them in reality, and it was so weird. And I remember telling her about this, and she's like, "That's weird." And then she just kept doing what she was doing. I was like, "Oh, okay."
It was like, that makes sense.
It made sense in my dream. I was like, "She's just fan. That makes sense. I can see why. It's hot in there. You gotta fan the baby."
Bro, sometimes you're just in a womb. You're just a little
That's right.
hot.
That's
You're
a little
like,
hot.
Mom, do me a favor
She's
and
making
just
a
fan me with a
sauna
pump.
right, exactly. She's like, "Mom, you got your boy down here."
I should text her.
I remember, and this is the weird part. I remember knowing that the baby, after not knowing she was pregnant,
Yeah.
she turned, and all of a sudden I was like, "That's a boy." Like I knew it was a boy, and I
Yeah.
was like,
By the shape of her stomach.
right. She's carrying in the front,
Yeah.
as opposed to what,
Yeah.
you know? And like, I don't know. I just remember little details about it. I remember it was like crystal blue water.
Ooh.
I remember there was land behind us, even though I didn't look behind me. I
Yeah.
remember distinctly thinking there's like sand right behind
Yeah,
us. You
yeah.
know? And I remember seeing like a palm tree, like a big palm tree. And I remember thinking that's where she got the branch.
Yeah.
You know, like just connecting little things and going, that makes sense, that makes sense, that makes sense. When in reality, if I had woken up on a boat without looking forward or seeing my pregnant aunt with a palm tree branch fanning her baby in the womb, I would have gone, what the F? Like, I would have not known anything. But, I don't know. I feel like going back to the very beginning of the conversation about, like, how you fall asleep and ambiance and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The first time I ever... What?
The conversation just went from...
Oh my gosh. We've been talking for almost 30 minutes about
weird
dreaming.
ASMR food stuff.
Yes.
And you're like, dreams are
Dreams. Welcome to Murky Depths. Today we're going to be talking about dreams. I have my friend Spencer Miller. How are you?
Yeah.
It's like Captain Kirk from the old Star Trek. Whatever he was like. He said Spock. He was like,
Spock.
Dude, what is it? Okay.
Plan a course straight ahead. Forward till morning.
One of the things that I was thinking about not too long ago, as far as dreams,
yeah.
Was like, I woke up, and like, yeah.
Sorry, I had to do it again.
Spock.
No, but like it was one of those things where it's like you don't really remember your dream, but like there's like one frame. Like if you took a video of if you could take a video of your dream, you took one frame and that's what you remembered, and you kind of like that's what I.
It's like a screensaver.
Yeah, it was just really weird because I just like even now I can think of that one frame, but it's very like it's non-abstract, I guess, non-concrete.
Yeah.
But it's like...
Is that a reference to the dancer?
Yeah. No, yeah. Anyways.
Tune in next time. We'll talk about Concrete, the dancer.
Yeah.
Until then, Spock.
Oh my god. But it's very interesting how like sometimes you can not remember your dream at all. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you can it's almost like painting a picture on fog.
Yeah.
And then trying to understand what that is.
Yeah. I think also because I remember this happening quite a bit when I was younger.
Yeah.
And this might happen just in developing brains or whatever.
Yeah.
I remember waking up and being frustrated that I couldn't remember a dream.
Yeah.
Halfway through my workday, this is job 58. I remember I did something that triggered a memory.
Yeah.
And I remembered the entire dream.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, I gotta think about this a second.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
And ooh.
And ooh.
Yeah.
And then I told him, I said, should I sit down? And I was like, that's a great idea.
No, but it's very interesting how you can hypothetically not remember your dream when you first wake up, but something sparks, neurons fire somewhere, and you're just like, oh my gosh,
yeah.
I know everything.
Right, yeah. It's like you're unlocking a vault.
Yeah.
Of memories. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like there are things that you can do to trigger. I don't want to say cooler, but more memorable dreams. Yeah. I remember when the first time I ever fell asleep to music on any level was when I met you at camp.
Oh.
And I remember listening to. It was an Owl City song. Classic, yeah. Classic. But I remember falling asleep to it, and I remember dreaming, and the song was about the ocean, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And
Ocean Eyes?
Was it Ocean Eyes?
I think that's a song that sounds familiar. Very wrong.
Is it Ocean Eyes? It might have been Ocean Eyes. Ocean Eyes, is that the album?
Oh,
That's
wait.
the album.
That is the album.
That is the album, yeah. No, it was on Alligator Sky.
Oh.
But it was the one about the ocean. Oh, I gotta Google this.
Yeah,
what is it? Hold on, I gotta Google it.
Oh, what?
Let's see here.
Dude, I think, wow. Ocean Eyes. I'm pretty sure I have that,
the album. Yeah, it's a great album.
Yeah, it is.
Where was I when the rockets came to life and carried you away to the alligator?
Oh, we're gonna get flagged. Sky. I'm that good.
Huh?
No. Where's All Things Bright? Oh, it's All Things Bright and Beautiful. That's what it was.
Oh.
All things. No, not all thongs. All things. Bright
Classic.
and beautiful. Classic.
Great move. Autocorrect.
Right. How I Became the Sea. That's what it's called.
Oh.
But I remember listening to it on like 3% volume
Yeah.
and just going to sleep.
Yeah. Oh.
Just going to sleep.
Sounds-
And I remember I dreamt about the ocean.
Yeah.
I was like, is that connected somehow?
I would.
What did
I would think so.
So the other week I listened to Crop Circles, the acoustic version on loop, on Musi.
Yeah. Shout out to John Lennon.
Shout out to my man John Bell. Yeah.
So good.
So good. And I remember I dreamt about, like, remember how you're talking about like one frame of a dream?
Yeah.
It was that kind of a dream.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I was dreaming about like the desert. It was like sandy, and I remember thinking like there was dunes and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
that's all I remember. That's all I remember from the dream.
Huh.
And I was like, I don't know, because I was thinking about it, and in my album, my list of songs, "Good Things Fall Apart" is right above it,
Yeah.
and the color scheme of that music video
Yeah,
is
yeah.
like a brownish, and of course the thumbnail of the video is that.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, is that why I thought about sand? I don't
Yeah.
know, but it was the same color and everything. I remember
Yeah.
seeing the color and going, that's in my dream. I was like, okay, that makes sense.
Mm. Dang.
Yeah,
Shoot.
just like little things that confirm other things. It's weird.
Oh, also sometimes like I'll. It's a great sound. No, but sometimes. Today on making sounds with our voice.
Making sound with our voice, we're going to be eating creme brulees, tea biscuits, and drinking the tea.
Oh my goodness gracious. Nah, but like sometimes I'll go or I'll do something, I'll experience something just like in reality.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, I feel like I was here in a dream, like.
It's like a deja vu type of thing. Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
And it could have been like months or like even like a year or two ago.
Yeah.
But it's still like this seems familiar.
I've had, and this is weird, and I actually wanted to bring this up as like a aliens ? Like that kind of a thing. So basically, I had a dream when I think I was like 12 or 13. I had just become a teenager.
Yeah.
And I remember dreaming about a building. And the building, I don't remember why the building was important or any of that, but I remember like 2 years ago being in a building and going, this looks familiar.
Yeah.
And within like a second, I was like, I dreamt about this building.
Yeah.
I've never been here before.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how does that make sense? Is that like, I don't know. I don't know if that connects to some kind of like, the Time Lords gave me some power. I don't know.
Like.
But how does that happen? How does that happen?
I mean, so.
The wheels are turning, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. No. So I think. Like statistically,
Mm-hmm.
like you have a lot of dreams.
Yeah.
Like, you do.
Couple
Whether
thousand.
you remember them, whether you remember them or not, like you still have dreams. And I feel like within your dreams, you're definitely, in the same way that you can't always like, very distinctly remember what, like, was in your dream, but you can remember maybe general like abstract things that were in your dream, like a
Mhm.
building. And like I feel like over time, like you're going to dream things that you may come in contact with in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like sometimes your brain associates because maybe you've had a dream earlier on about a building or something like that.
Yeah.
And in the same way that sometimes you'll have something in your day after forgetting a dream that like causes you to remember
Right.
that. Like in the same way, like it could be that type of thing where like since they're kind of like abstractly similar things, even though they're not like the same perfect whatever building or whatever. Like I feel like deja vu in that respect can be situations where your brain kind of takes something that you've maybe experienced in your dream just because you've
Mhm.
kind of been there, and you're just like you're kind of connecting those two dots.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
I don't know, or maybe you just predicted the future and that's super dope.
I feel like that's less likely. Than,
Probably,
than
but
anything.
like
No, I feel like that might be true. Just the idea of like, if you dream about like a green cup,
yeah,
and
Okay.
say green cups are like illegal and you've never seen one or whatever, like
Yeah.
that kind of thing, and then you see like a green fountain, and because it's kind of green, and you're like, whoa, this is deja vu, you
Yeah.
know, like that kind of thing. I just went to like Brooklyn accent for a second. It's deja vu.
Deja vu.
Get in the cab. I'm gonna take you to the downtown area.
What's the deal?
What's the deal? No, but like, even though the dream is not exactly the same as the reality,
Yeah.
it's a trigger It's not a trigger warning, but it's a trigger to remember it before, and your brain associates it as the same thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like that could be
I feel
the
like.
logical
I
answer.
feel like.
Even though I've never been in the building and there was a years gap,
Yeah.
it reminded me of the dream, which
Yeah.
caused me to remember the dream, which caused me to think that it was the same building. But,
Yeah. I don't know. It's,
So my life is a lie. Wow.
it's crazy.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
That's a.
That's a great idea.
That's a great idea.
That's a great idea.
That's what you say to your wife whenever she leans over and says, "Let's have sex." You're like,
That's a great idea.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Dreams.
Yeah.
Dreams
dreams
are.
are crazy, dude.
Dreams are.
I love dreaming.
Cool, crazy, fun.
Crazy fun.
They are like everything.
Yeah.
They can be good. They can be
Dreams
bad.
are dreams are stars.
Like-
It's all stars.
Okay.
Everything, man. Name
like-
anything. I'll say
I'm
it's stars.
I'm like, bro, dreams are like stars.
Dreams are like stars,
sometimes,
man.
Sometimes.
I tell you.
Some,
You want to know what it's like to
some
dream?
are big, some are small,
Some-
some explode, and some die.
But remember, every star is bigger than you are. That's all you need to know.
And if you use the 15%, no, just
Yeah, no. It's like, you want to know what dream is like? Get aboard and go out in the waves, man. You know exactly what dream is like, man.
oh, you know the feeling of sand, dude. I thought of that when I was clipping grass, and I put my water, and I was like,
I thought
these
you were
two
going to go
things I
Anakin
can-
on that and be like, you know the feeling of sand? It's hard, it's coarse. It gets everywhere.
Yeah. Anyways, that sounds like a good point to stop. I like this conversation.
It was pretty good.
I feel like
I love how you're the guest and you're telling the host when to stop the
Yeah.
podcast.
no, I feel like kind of seeing the
Yeah.
progression of our conversation. I feel like we've talked a lot about dreams. I feel like
Sure.
we've hit on just a lot of the different, like, remembering like what the contents of a dream, the connection of dream to reality. Like,
Sure.
I feel like we talked about it a lot.
Yeah. It's weird, though, because we've had conversations about dreams before,
Yeah.
but in the context of, like, a podcast and just sitting down and talking about it, it's like, you can go way deeper if you really want to.
Dude, it's so like it's very interesting doing a podcast because like I think, and I don't know if it has anything to do with hearing your own voice.
Sure.
But like I think like your brain is so much more invested in the
Mhm.
conversation because you're hearing yourself talking.
Right.
You're not really hearing anything else. You're not really focused on anything else
Yeah.
but the conversation. So it's been cool to like see how that's affected the like depth of our conversation and
Yeah.
just kind of like the avenue of where it takes us.
The natural progression of the conversation. Hence why I call it murky depths. You start at the top and you go down deep.
Wow.
Deep.
That's crazy.
Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you, Spencer, for joining me on the inaugural episode. Really, really great to have a deep conversation, especially with somebody who I do this normally with.
Yes, obviously. It's been good.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you do want to subscribe, please do. If you want to follow me on my Instagram, it is Damon_Andy. Would you like to plug any of your social media, sir?
Spencer_Miller7. I post dance videos. I also I don't really do a whole lot on social media, but when I do, it's a good time.
It is. I will attest to that.
But
He doesn't post a lot, but when he does, it's quality.
Yeah.
It's quality.
Um,
All right, guys. Thank you so much, and I will be back another time.